Hi again. This time I'm here to help those who got their visa approved. First thing to know is that your temporary visa on your passport is not equivalent to resident permit. There is still expiration on the visa, and you have to make sure to travel to Portugal before the visa validity expires. Once you arrived at Portugal, the first thing you need to do is make an appointment with SEF, now AIMA. Very important reminder that you do not make an appointment by email. You need to call the hotline number to get an appointment. Since the transition from SEF to AIMA, I think it had become more faster and have more vacant slot than previous years. Maybe. If the line is busy, just keep calling because it happens all the time. And if you're frustrated like me, you can download an app for auto redial because I did that last year. It was so hard to get through the hotline because it's always busy. For anyone having difficulty finding SEF number, you can try this number to call. I use this 965-903-700 or 35-12171-15000. I don't think they changed their number when they transition. I use this one and able to make an appointment. I do hope this helps. The important thing is making an appointment first. Once you're able to have available slot date, you just need to wait and start preparing the necessary documents for AIMA. My advice is to bring along the documents you submitted for the visa application, as each AIMA may have different requirements. First and foremost, before your appointment date, you must already have NIF. This is your tax identification number. And if you don't have, you need to apply for this one, ASAP. This is important because once you stayed more than 183 days in Portugal, you become a taxable person, and by that, you will need to declare your worldwide income and pay any tax obligation to the Portuguese government. Second, once you have your NIF, this is also for anyone whose NIF address is still in their home country address and not in Portugal. You need to go to your parish council area, that is the Junta de Residencia, to get your official proof address, which is the Atestado de Residencia, also known as residence certificate. You'll need this certificate to be able to change your address on your NIF portal. Remember, every time you change address, you also need to change your address on your NIF portal to update the finance authority. But don't worry on changing your NIF address for now. You still need to wait for your residence card by AIMA, and I will show you on my next video on how to change your address online. You only need to bring the Atestado de Residencia that you got from your junta as proof that you have address here in Portugal. In the past, maybe it's easy to change your NIF address online. You just need to upload Atestado de Residencia. But with my experience, they message me and require uploading your residence permit. And that time, I'm still waiting for my card. So it's best to just wait for your temporary residence card and don't stress on changing your NIF address. And remember, once you change your NIF address with Portuguese address, the finance authority will consider you as tax residents at that moment. So my advice, waits for your residence card. There's a very small chance some might get rejected even though your visa was approved. This is just small chances. As long as you submitted all necessary documents asked and are not faked, then 100% you will be given a temporary residence card, so don't worry about this. The challenging part is attaining the Atestado de Residencia. Maybe it's depending on your parish council area, because each may have different rules. My first experience was lucky. They did ask me for 2 local citizens in my area as witness and proof that I'm actually staying in that address. But of course, like newcomer, I didn't even know that, so I was in dilemma. I did bring along other requirements like my passport, NIF, rental contract, and rent receipts. But yeah, without the 2 witnesses, it kinda downer. Although the staff was very helpful and friendly, she told me that I just need them to give their copy of their ID. That is their citizen card. And just need to sign the requiremento form. It's still hard, especially if you don't know anyone here. Remember, the 2 witnesses' citizen card's address must be registered the same junta as yours. So it was a challenge just by thinking about it. So I tried to reason and show her my other documents, so there's no need for the witnesses since I have a rental contract. But the staff still said not enough. Then I showed her that I even have a receipt, and luckily, she accepted this. So a heavy weight lifted. And this is my first visit in my junta, so I feel happy. But remember, this receipt is not just ordinary receipt. The receipt to need to be registered at the tax authority. This means your landlord must register his or her business at the tax authority. And every time you pay monthly rent, you need to ask your landlord for the receipt and keep it as a proof. Now, for the new nomads or freelancer who came this year, 2024, you might face difficulty because they become much stricter. I change address again with different zip code. As usual, I need to change my NIF address online again. And again, I need to go to junta, so I bring along the same requirements. But this time she needed me to bring 2 witnesses along with me at the junta. not just photocopy of their citizen card, even though I have a receipt. Remember, this might be different for each junta, and they might accept just the contract and receipt or copy of the two witnesses' citizen card. But with my second visit, they required me to bring along two witnesses. So it was a stress for me because it was also the month of tax, so there was a lot going on for me that month. The staff did remember me, but she said it's a new rule because a lot of people submit fake documents. To be honest, my appointment with SEF was much easier compared to this, so expect to go to parish council at least 3 times. Remember, these two witnesses must be registered on same junta branch as yours and have right to vote. The staff also said it doesn't have to be your neighbor, as long as it's within your zip code or area. Honestly, this doesn't help much for me because I was stressed just by asking a stranger to come with me, or if I'm bothering them, stuff like that. Stress. Anyway, I just want you to be aware for this. If your junta asks for 2 witnesses and you didn't find any, you can try hiring someone or pay someone in your area to go with you, or if you have an accountant, maybe ask if they can help you. So once you have your Atestado de Residencia and residence card, make sure to immediately change your address in your NIF portal online, or you can also go in person at the tax office because it's much quicker. I did mine in person. You just need to show the staff your residence card and passport, but bring along other document just in case. Remember to photocopy your Atestado de Residencia, don't submit the original. The reason I recommend changing your NIF address online immediately once you receive your residence card, because if you change address again, like me, you actually don't need to go to junta again to change your NIF online. You only need to do this once, and the next time you need to change, you can just do it online without the need of uploading Atestado de Residencia or proof of SEF appointment. I will also show how to do this on my next video along with changing your NIF address online. For now, let's move back to SEF. After you got NIF and Atestado de Residencia, you also need to photocopy your rental contract again for SEF or AIMA. Also bring along the authorization to consult criminal record. This is same as the one required on applying the visa. Next, very important, you also need to bring along your work contracts. My experience during my SEF appointment, the staff actually asked for this and asked some questions. So we prepare for answers and be honest. Another important document is your Portuguese bank. You need this to show you have sufficient means of subsistence. They didn't ask for my other bank accounts. They only need that you have a bank in Portugal and make sure to deposit around 7,500 euros and more. And lastly, don't forget your passport and be on time or better earlier. Bring cash if needed. To be honest, they did not ask me a bunch of documents, like rental contract or receipts. Each SEF has different requirements, and it also depends on the staff, so it's important to bring with you as much documents as possible. And not only the general required documents, because you don't know what they will ask you. It's best to be well prepared. So there you go. You don't need to hire some agency or lawyers to this, and you can do this yourself. It can be intimidating once you're on SEF, and it's normal. But as long as you have all the necessary documents, it's quite quick. So after this, you just need to wait for your residence card to arrive. Some experience more than 3 months or 6 months or more waiting for their card to arrive. But this was before they transitioned to AIMA. My card arrived around almost 3 months. This was before or about to transition the responsibility to AIMA.